Hey, what's up everybody? Austin here, Speedy Vinyl. So I wanted to do a video for you guys today just to show you a little bit on how to use our printed HTV. I want to talk a little bit about the printed HTV first and kind of explain the difference between what we make in the store and send you versus what you can make at home. So the biggest differences when it comes to printed HTV is going to be the overall quality because of the inks that are used. So whenever you print stuff at home, and we do sell the stuff here in the shop on our website as well, it's a printable HTV. This will fit in any inkjet printer, a color printer, and it works great for a cut and print feature on your CRICUT or Cameo or any other machine for that matter. The problem with that HTV in particular is, and it's not necessarily a problem, it just has its place. The main thing being is it's mostly used for like novelty items, one and done, birthday shirts, that kind of thing. So overall, like in the washing machine, it's just not going to hold up as well as ours will. And there's a couple of key differences because of it. So your home-based printer, the inks that it uses a water-based pigment. So that water-based ink can only really sit on top of the HTV. The home-based print it's formulated to allow some of that to seep in, but overall the penetration of that ink is not going to be as good. Also, it's water-based. The key word in there being water. So think of it like watercolor. You put water in it, and it dries. You put more water on it, and it runs. Not that will run per se, but when you're running it through the wash, the color's going to wash out a lot faster. So now the type of print that we do in the store, we actually print on an eco-solvent printer, which is talking about the ink. It's a special kind of ink that's formulated for specific kinds of vinyl. Now we print on a multitude of materials. HTV, we print on an adhesive. We use Orajet 3651, which is very similar to 651, except it has a color fastness and it will accept that eco-solvent ink. So it's a little bit different than just running it through the printer at home. You sure can do it, but it will just sit right on top and it won't stick. So those are going to be the key differences between what we do in the store versus what you can do at home with just a home-based printer. So today's video though, we're going to specifically, I want to focus on showing you guys how to use those patterns, because the one thing you're going to notice when you get it is there's no clear liner on it like EasyWeed. And so there's a couple of steps. They're really simple that you have to follow in order to get that from a pattern to a transfer to your shirt. I like to describe it, it's exactly like doing an adhesive decal. There's almost no difference. The only difference is instead of applying that decal to a mug or a window or whatever it may be, you're going to be applying it to a shirt. So let's go over to the station, we'll get set up, and I will show you guys how to do it. All right, stick with me. Okay, so we're back over here at the station. I've got my prints set up, so we've got various different prints here. Just to show you guys a little bit of the materials, like this is HTV. We've got some adhesives. We also have HTV glitter. I don't know if you can see the glitter in the video, but it's very pretty. There's a lot, and we can put any of our prints that are on our website, we can put on print. So anything that is on our website, we can put it on there. So let's go ahead and get into showing you guys exactly how you take a sheet of print, okay, and we're going to, I've already cut my image out of it just to speed things up here. I'm going to show you how to take it from this to make it to where we can get it to transfer to a shirt, okay? So some of the key things that you're going to need and definitely going to want, you're going to want a squeegee. It's very important because you're going to want to be able to get that good pressure when you're putting the transfer tape on. It's a little bit different than an adhesive transfer in the sense that it binds to the back. The HTV itself, when it's manufactured, it kind of binds. There is a backing on this. It kind of binds to that. So you need to make sure that you get really good pressure on your tape, okay? So now this transfer tape, this is a special kind of transfer tape. You can't just use like a regular adhesive transfer tape. This is called TTD Easy Mask. It's made by Caesar, and it's specially made for their vinyl, their printable vinyl. They have a couple of different lines. We in particular use the Color Print Easy. So you got to have that TTD. Now, the one nice thing is you can reuse sheets from other Easy Weed projects. So if you have a nice big sheet and maybe you made simple cuts on it, it's not really scarred up or anything like that. Doesn't have, you didn't get it set on the carpet or whatever, and it picked up a bunch of fur or anything like that. You can reuse those pieces. They're a little bit more challenging to work with, honestly, but it can be done. I wouldn't suggest using it more than once. These clean sheets of TTD Easy Mask, you can use these. I've used them quite a few times. I've tried to really push the envelope, and I did it 8 times. Now it was smaller images, and I kind of flipped my sheet around so that I was getting new pieces the whole time. I wouldn't suggest that, and the reason is when you're starting to transfer these images off of here, what tends to happen is this Easy Mask will start to lose its adhesion, and it becomes a lot more difficult. So just to save you some frustration, I would just maybe reuse this, maybe 2 times. It's really cheap. It's very inexpensive. They're like 99 cents a sheet. Right now we have the 12 by 10s. We are going to be adding 12 by 15s. I'm in the process of processing them right now. And so hopefully we'll have those up on the website very soon. One thing I do want to point out is you cannot use Easy Mask on printed glitter, okay? The printed glitter, it has too much texture. So the Easy Mask is kind of like a medium tack finish. You need a super high tack, but you need it specially formulated for HTV. We also have that on our website. It's also in 12 by 10s because that's all we're producing the glitter in right now. But you definitely do need it. You cannot reuse the polymer lining or the Easy Mask. You can't reuse those for glitter. It's just not sticky enough, okay? If you have a solid piece, I suppose you could just peel that whole solid piece. You wouldn't necessarily need to use the mask, but anything with lettering, intricate design, fine detail, you're definitely going to want that sheet of mask, okay? So the other tool that we're going to be using today is our little weeding tool here, which, by the way, we're going to do a video on various weeding tools and which ones are the best for the money, because they are not equal. There is tons of difference, and I got a whole box over there of different weeding tools that we're going to go through. So check that video out. So this will be a good time for me to plug. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe. Turn that notification signal on, that little bell in the bottom corner. That'll tell you whenever we put out new videos, so that you don't miss any of the new stuff that we're doing. So let's get into it. So we've got our buffalo plaid print here. This is buffalo plaid number 1. It's BDP1 is the SKU number. You can search on our website BDP. I think this one's actually also on the header right now of our website. So, and that'll take you right to it. Okay, so I've already got my image cut. Let's go ahead and weed it. So we're just going to go ahead and grab a corner here. All right. And the nice thing about this particular HTV is, I'm sure, whenever you're weeding on regular Easy Weed, you've got that sticky liner and you're kind of fighting it, and sometimes it can be a lot harder to weed. What's really cool about this stuff is it does not have a sticky backing. It does have, like, it's adhered to it because of the material was formed on this liner, but it's not sticky at all. Once you peel that up, that's it. It's not stuck to it anymore. It's almost like it's like static cling to it or vacuum to it. So But what's cool about this is it makes things really, really easy to weed. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel this off. Okay. See how easy that is to weed? I mean, it's that simple. Whole sheet's pretty much weeded except for our cavities. It looks like I didn't even miss anything in any of the words. You know, sometimes the S's will tear or whatever else. Here's our scrap. Throw that off to the side. So let's hit our cavities really quick. The other nice thing about this too is, like, and I'm sure that if you've ever done a project with EasyWeed that had like a bunch of little detail that you had to weed out, and you end up going through, and then those little pieces get stuck to the sticky part of the tape. That's so frustrating to me. Oh my gosh, I lose sleep over that stuff. What's nice about this stuff though is if you get the pieces stuck to it, all you got to do is just pick it up and just shake it off, and they just fall right off, which is really cool. So let's get all of our... Okay, so there we go. We're weeded up. We've got all of our cavities out. We've got our image now. The problem is wait a minute, how are we going to press it? Because we want this side out, and the adhesive is on the back now. And so what do we got to do? Well, what we got to do is, this is where the Easy Mask comes into play, okay? And this is where it's very similar to a decal. You know, you would cut your 651, you're going to weed it, and then you're left with this. Well, you can't stick that to something. You've got to get transfer tape on so you can take it off the backing and put it on something. So same principle, okay? So we're going to take our Easy Mask here, and if I can get it to peel, come on. It's going to be stubborn today. There we go. So one thing that I like to do, this is a little trick that I use, is I like to take this backing, and because I like to save these sheets and I try to get as little on it as possible, I'll take my print here and I'll set it on top of that carrier sheet, okay? Because that tells me this is the exact same size as the transfer tape, okay? So you'll know right away if maybe you've cut your transfer tape apart and you're not quite sure and you're trying to eyeball it. And if I'm sure that some of you have done that before on like 651. I know I have done it, where you put the transfer tape down and then there's a edge that you missed and you're like, dang it. And so that can be very frustrating. But so I like to take that paper, put it underneath there, and now I know, you know, my design's gonna fit. It's within the parameters, we're gonna be good to go. So then you're gonna take your transfer tape, okay? And it's a little bit more rigid, so I think it's easier to apply. So we've got it on there. Here, let's go ahead and just kind of let gravity take over, press it down. This is where your squeegee is going to come into play. And you're going to do it just the same as you would a decal. You're just going to work your way around, pushing out the air bubbles. You can hear them popping. Getting this pressed down. One thing you will notice is that because this transfer tape is so much thicker, it's less likely to kind of like curl up on you or wrinkle up, and where you get like a crease in your tape sometimes if you something got set down before the other, which is nice. It's really easy to apply, okay? The key here is you just want to make sure that you really kind of want to put some elbow grease into applying this tape. Okay, get all those air bubbles out, get it nice and pressed. This is particularly important if you have a lot of fine detail and punctuation, stuff like that, or really thin lettering, or just a lot of detail. You can always go back and repress, but it's just easier if you just get it good, get it nice and pressed down. Okay. So now we've got the HTV sealed inside of there. You know, we still have our backing on, and now we have our transfer tape on. Okay, so this is another little trick that I use, and it's going to make things a lot easier. You should never really pull on your transfer tape whenever you're pulling something up. and I'll show you why. Whenever you pull on your transfer tape, you know, so you've got your image up and you're leaving your backing down flat, what can sometimes happen is it will start to peel. See how it didn't peel up the lettering, but the tape's coming up? So I'm going to show you a little trick for that. So let's press this back down. What I want you to do is take your image and flip it over. And I want you to peel on the backing. Okay? Because what that's going to do is it makes that backing kind of bend, and it's going to help break the surface tension on your adhesive. So the same spot right where we were, except this time our HTV is coming up with our transfer tape. Didn't do anything different. All we did was flip it over, and we're just peeling the backing now. And so you just want to do just kind of light, not light, consistent, even pressure when you're peeling this off. See, we got a little bit of hang up right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go back, we're going to lay it back down, and we're just going to take our squeegee, because it's still handy. We're going to press that letter back down, no big deal. And there, we're good now. And we're just going to keep going until we get it all the way off. Keep an eye on your detail, take your time, just watch it. You know, you don't need to peel it fast. The nice thing is once you get this material transferred, it's not going to go back to this, because remember, this isn't sticky. So once you get it off, even if you laid this back down and you were like, oh, I gotta go do something, the kids are being crazy or whatever, no big deal. Just pull it back up, because it's not going to stick to the HTV again. So you can just peel it right back up, no big deal. Or let's say you want to make a bunch of whatever. You're going to make, you know, 10 of these, and you want to get them transferred, but your shirt order got delayed, and so you're waiting on your shirts to come in. Well, you can just take them, put it right back on that carrier sheet, or that backing for that the easy mask was on, and bam, now your transfer is ready to go. Okay, so now what we're left with is a very familiar looking piece of HTV. We've got our color pointing out, our words are the correct way now. We're ready to take this over to our heat press it on a shirt, and you're good to go. As far as pressing is concerned with the printed HTV, Caesar's color print easy is still going to be 305, still 10 to 15 seconds, medium pressure, and you can do warm or cool peel. I like to do a warm peel. When you're doing a warm peel, just be easy on it. Watch it, make sure as you're peeling it off that you've got everything in case you need to repress, or if you had an uneven spot or whatever it may be. So yeah, just normal stuff from there. So hopefully this video helps you guys out with the printed HTV. It's a lot of fun. There's some really neat prints. We just added, I don't even know, so many different prints the other day. So check those out. If you see, or if you don't see something that you really want, or you keep checking back and we don't have it, shoot us a message. We're trying to add as much print as we can, but there's so many prints out there. Sometimes it can be daunting. We're trying to cover all of the bases, and it's tough. Don't forget, we can also do custom print for you. We can do custom contour cutting as well. So if you have complex images with a bunch of color that you're thinking, how the heck am I going to layer this? Shoot us an email. Most times, if it's more than 3 colors that you have to layer, and it's bigger than 6 by 12, we'll call it, most of the time it's cheaper for us to print it for you, and it'll save you a lot of headache, a lot of frustration. So again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel, or consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, please leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, thumbs down it and tell us why. If we're missing something, if we skipped over something, if there's something that I didn't cover well enough, please let me know. I'm going to put a subscribe. It'll either be here, it'll be a circle, and then I'll put a couple more videos on the side of my face here so that you can check out some of the other ones. Thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And thank you so much for supporting this channel and being part of the Speedy Vinyl family. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye.